Hey everyone, it's Harry, your host. In less than 48 hours, tens of millions of American seniors will reach a moment that quietly, yet decisively, shapes their financial reality for the month ahead. The date circled on calendars across the country is January 28th. For those who rely on Social Security, this is not merely another day on the calendar. It is a financial inflection point. The Social Security Administration operates on a payment schedule so precise, so methodically structured, that millions of households have organized their monthly budgets around it with near mathematical certainty. Yet what many beneficiaries do not realize, what is rarely emphasized in official communications, is that not everyone is paid on the same day. The system is deliberately staggered. And while it may appear opaque at first glance, once understood, it allows you to predict your payment date with absolute certainty every month for the rest of your life. January 28th represents far more than a routine deposit. It symbolizes stability, dignity, and a long-standing social contract. The promise that after decades of labor and payroll contributions, American workers would not be left financially exposed in old age. The amounts deposited on this date will vary widely. Some beneficiaries will receive approximately $1,500, others will see deposits exceeding $3,000, and a smaller number will receive even more. These differences are not the result of randomness or favoritism. They are the product of a structured formula rooted in lifetime earnings, retirement timing, and decisions made years, sometimes decades earlier. Decisions whose consequences are now fully realized. Understanding how this system works is not optional. It is essential to financial survival. Deep within the federal government's data infrastructure, automated systems operate continuously, processing payments for more than 67 million Americans. Individuals who worked for decades, paid into the system, and now depend on these funds to meet basic needs. The margin for error is virtually non-existent. A single delay or technical failure can mean missed prescriptions, unpaid utility bills, or impossible choices between food and heating. That is why January 28th carries such weight. The payment schedule itself is determined by your date of birth. This may sound deceptively simple, but it is the backbone of how the government distributes billions of dollars without overwhelming the system. If you were born between the 21st and 31st of any month, January 28th is your scheduled payment date. That is when your benefit is issued and when you should expect to see funds deposited. Your benefit amount is calculated using your primary insurance amount, derived from your 35 highest earning years, adjusted for inflation. The government examines your full career, indexes your wages, calculates an average, and applies a statutory formula to determine your monthly benefit. In 2025, the average Social Security retirement benefit for someone who claimed at full retirement age is approximately $1,900 per month. But averages conceal more than they reveal. Some retirees receive closer to $1,000 due to limited work histories, while others, those who earned the maximum taxable income and delayed claiming until age 70, receive over $4,000 per month. The difference between these figures is not abstract. It often determines whether retirement is manageable or financially precarious. This year's Cost of Living Adjustment, COLA, was set at 2.5%. Intended to preserve purchasing power amid inflation. For the average beneficiary, that translates to roughly $45–50 per month. Over a year, that may cover groceries or prescriptions, but it rarely offsets the full rise in living costs. Complicating matters further, Medicare Part B premiums also increased in 2025 to $185 per month. And for most beneficiaries, this amount is automatically deducted from their Social Security payment. As a result, a portion of the COLA increase is absorbed before the money ever reaches a bank account. The headline increase rarely reflects the net reality. Consider Mary, a retired teacher with nearly 4 decades of service. Her monthly benefit rose by $52.50 due to COLA, but her Medicare premium increased as well. Her actual gain in disposable income was closer to $40 per month, an amount already allocated across rising costs for food, utilities, and transportation. Full retirement age is another critical determinant. Once set at 65, it has gradually increased. For anyone born in 1960 or later, full retirement age is 67. Claiming benefits earlier permanently reduces monthly payments by as much as 30% if claimed at age 62. Conversely, delaying benefits beyond full retirement age increases payments by 8% per year, up to age 70. The implications are profound. A benefit of $2,000 at full retirement age becomes $1,400 if claimed early, or $2,640 if delayed. Over a lifetime, these decisions can amount to hundreds of thousands of dollars. For those receiving Supplemental Security Income, SSI. In addition to retirement benefits, payment timing becomes even more complex. SSI follows a separate schedule, typically paying on the first of the month. Understanding both schedules is essential for accurate budgeting. Eligibility itself hinges on earning ODR 40 work credits, usually equivalent to 10 years of employment. Those with interrupted careers may still qualify through ODR spousal or survivor benefits, which can provide up to 50% of a spouse's benefit or 100% of a deceased spouse's benefit. Yet many eligible individuals fail to claim the maximum amount simply because they do not fully understand their options. Taxation introduces another layer of complexity. Depending on total income, up to 85% of Social Security benefits may be subject to federal income tax. For retirees with pensions, withdrawals, or part-time income, this often comes as an unpleasant surprise. Add to this provisions like the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset, which can significantly reduce benefits for certain public servants, and the system becomes even more difficult to navigate. Despite dire headlines, Social Security is not on the verge of collapse. Current projections suggest trust fund depletion around or 2035, after which payroll taxes would still fund roughly 80% of benefits. While that is not reassuring, it is far from the catastrophic scenarios often portrayed. For those returning to work, earnings limits apply before full retirement age. Exceeding these thresholds can temporarily reduce benefits, though withheld amounts are later recalculated and restored once full retirement age is reached. Direct deposit remains the safest and most reliable payment method. Paper checks are increasingly discouraged due to delays, theft, and loss. For the unbanked, the iDirect Express card provides an electronic alternative. As payment dates approach, scam activity increases. The Social Security Administration does not call unsolicited, demand payment, or request personal information. Any such contact should be treated as fraud. Finally, tools like the My Social Security online account offer essential visibility and protection, allowing beneficiaries to monitor payments, update information, and prevent identity misuse. January 28th, then, is not merely a transaction date. It is the convergence point of policy decisions, lifetime earnings, inflation, healthcare costs, and personal circumstance. For millions of Americans, it is the financial anchor that holds everything else in place. Thank you for watching. If you're like my video, please subscribe.